In a lot of cases, I prefer going tip up, as I have the Spyderco Persistence set up right now. But when this is executed well, when tip down is executed this well, I really don't mind it at all. Hello my friends, Late Boy Scout here, and this is my review of the H&K Ascender series of knives, brought to us by Benchmade, made by Benchmade, for a little bit less money than an actual Benchmade, and that's pretty exciting. Less quality? I don't think so. I do not think so. I've been handling these knives for a little while, and I am thoroughly impressed. That one does say prototype on it. Don't get too hung up on that fact. Very cool series of knives. Great in hand, great features, you know, very simple yet just incredibly well done. Incredibly well done knives. This, of course, is the mini in my hands. Down there on the table is the Big Papa. We'll swap that for a second. Feature-wise, ergonomics-wise, we're looking at the same knife. This one's just scaled up a lot. Okay, so that's the mini Ascender, and this is just the Ascender. That's kind of how they're named. This, by the way, is a Tonto version. Don't know if you're going to be able to find this on the shelves anywhere, but there it is. By the way, these are discontinued knives, so keep that in mind as you go shopping for them. Yeah, they're still out there, though. You can still find these knives. You can still pick them up. You can still get a great deal on an awesome hunk of knife. Just don't expect Benchmade to have them in stock at their store. Okay, so there's that. So why do I think this is such a great knife? What do they do with this knife that connects with me so well? Well, it's just a solid, really well put together knife. The design is simple, but extremely well done. We've got some nice jimping on top. That works pretty well. Same case with the mini. All right, a good little thumb stud on there, helping that liner lock knife to fly out quickly. And that is butter smooth, by the way. Extremely smooth. I couldn't ask for a smoother knife. And this gigantic sucker, no effort. If you didn't miss that, there was no wrist flick. None whatsoever. Oh boy, that's great. That is a great, well put together knife. And how's the lockup? I don't detect any movement, actually. That's surprising. A slight movement on that one, but not much. Still very well put together knives. Both of them liner lock. I think I mentioned that. A good pocket clip on it, which is a deep pocket clip. You can expect that to, the fact that it wraps around and then comes down means that almost nothing is sticking out of your pocket. If your pocket is angled like this, expect it to pretty much completely disappear. Okay? Same goes on the mini. Pretty much entirely disappear with that thing. Great execution on that pocket clip. Really well done. By the way, it is swappable. You can move it over to this side. Oh, but wait, there's a little H&K logo there, so how can I move it over? Real easy. You get your fingernail under this, like that. You pull that off, and lo and behold, you got two holes. Yeah. Then you move this one over to the other side to fill in those holes. And when I realized that that's what that was, I was like jumping for joy. Okay, that's just such a clever idea. And I wish more folks would do that with the sort of drilled out areas that you're not using. Fill it in with a little stopper like that. It's an attractive little logo piece. That's really cool. Smart little thing to do. Yeah, anyway, so also, let's talk about some of the other features. You've clearly got a little lanyard hole here. It's going to fit your 550 cord without any problem, I think. Full flow-through pillar construction, if I can speak, sorry. Which means that all the dirt, all the whatever, is going to flow right through that. You can hose it out, blow it out, and have a clean knife in no time. No need to disassemble it, but you can if you need to, because those are Torx bit screws. So that's a good thing. On this giant H&K Ascender version, not the non-mini, it's all the same deal. Flow-through design, lots of good jimping on the top. on top of the, not just on top of the blade itself, on the spine of the blade itself, but also on the top of those liners there. So that's going to help you maintain a firm grip on it. And you're looking at two knives that are identically spaced as far as the width is concerned. The small one is just as thin as the big one. The big one's just as thin as the small one. That's rare. That is really rare. You don't see that with, let's say, I don't have a full-size Griptilian here, but here's the mini Griptilian. You don't see that with the mini Griptilian. You see that handle scaling up in fatness. And, you know, a nice pocketable knife becomes a little less pocketable because of the big fatness to it. Not everybody watching this video cares about the width of your knife. I'm just one of those guys that do. Okay, I know that all the dimensions of the knife contribute to make it carryable or not carryable. So whenever you can cut some of those dimensions down, width is one of those areas that's usually pretty easy to do. If you're just smart about it, then it makes the knife infinitely more carryable. And carrying your knife is the first part of using your knife, having it there, having it available to you, right? So I love the fact that this is actually a really thin knife. This big, humongous knife is actually really thin. How big is it? The large one has a blade length of nearly 4 inches at 3.86 is what I'm reading. An overall length of about 9 1/4. Okay, and a weight of about 5.4 ounces, but it's a thin, carryable 5.4 ounces, and it hardly even feels like that at all. It really doesn't. G10 scales, if I didn't mention that already, which are adequately grippy and definitely add to your ability to hold on to this knife. A good little swell here, adding some ergonomics. The liner, of course, liner lock works great and is easy to deploy and to close. Those thumb studs, no issues with them. They work great. If we were to take a second and compare this large H&K Ascender to some other large knives, what are some we might compare it to? Well, here is the Cold Steel Voyager Vaquero version. Very similar in size. Okay, let's turn them this way so we can really see the size. Actually, that almost fills up the entire screen. I don't know if we'll be able to manage that, but we'll try it. We'll try it. What else have we got? How about, here's a Spyderco Endura 4. That's the ZDP 189 version. Okay, so there's a little size comparison there. Here's another Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Gets smaller. Paramilitary 2 does get smaller. Here's something else. Goes into the really thin category. Okay, this is a much more affordable knife than some of these other ones. But this is the Kershaw Vapor 2. And I think it's really close as far as, you know, sort of the large, thin, carryable knife. And just because it's handy, the Berg Cara 2. Okay, falling into that same size ratio. And cost is very close to something like this. Not quite that either, but yeah, whatever the case. You're looking at some good large knives there, some affordable knives competing with it, and some less affordable knives, you know, not quite competing with it. Whatever the case, this large Ascender is definitely a good option for carrying as a big self-defense knife. And what are some knives that would compare with the small Ascender? Well, one knife definitely compares with it is one of its brothers. That's the mini Griptilian. Yeah, in size, that's a very, very close knife in size. I think it is. Then we got, let's say, the Spyderco Persistence. It's not too far off, and it's definitely an affordable knife. More affordable than the Griptilian. Not too far off from the Ascender. How about the Ripple by CRKT? Definitely an affordable knife. One of those things that's kind of on clearance at Walmart every now and then for a very, very low price. So that's going to come in at a pretty affordable price. And, you know, pretty close in size and carryability, I think. It actually matches the tip-down pocket clip of the Ascender series. Which, you know, in a lot of cases, I prefer going tip up, as I have the Spyderco Persistence set up right now. And, of course, mini Griptilian is set up that way as well. In a lot of cases, I do prefer that. But when this is executed well, when tip down is executed this well, I really don't mind it at all. I really, really don't. And it is executed extremely well on this Ascender series of knives by H&K, brought to us by our friends at Benchmade. Thanks, Benchmade. Hopefully you guys can find these knives either on the secondary market. They should still be out there in stores and on websites. Look for them. They're priced not too badly. They are made with some decent steel, which is 9CR13. Close to 8CR13 MOV? I don't know. Probably kind of close, but I'm going to call that a decent steel. I'm guessing it's going to be a decent steel. Certainly good for either tactical or definitely everyday carry. So some good knives at probably pretty decent prices, and I'm honestly, if you can get a hold of one of these just for the joy of it, oh man, it's so smooth. I really like the feel of it. I really like the looks of it. H&K Ascender series, big thumbs up. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm the Late Boy Scout. We'll see you later.